Hello, hello friends. Uh, I'm going to talk about the concept of Islamophobia today, and the program was about to start at 9 o'clock. So we have I we have just started it 5 minutes late. Friends, my name is Abhay Kumar. I have studied intellectual history of Islam, religion, and I have been interested in Indian Muslims. My PhD work is about the cultural politics of minorities, and I have written my PhD thesis on Muslim personal laws. During my research, I have been able to study Islam, particularly from social science perspective, from sociological and historical perspective. So I just want to share my views about Islamophobia, the cultural politics. We in India call it communalism. Our Western friends may not understand communalism in that way. Communalism in India means sectarian violence, discriminating somebody on the basis of religious identity. In India, the minority Muslims constitute around 13 to 14% of India's total population. That is huge. Maybe the population of Muslims in India would be equivalent to the populations of many European countries. So, in one sense, Muslims in India are minority, but they are not minority in that sense because they are in great number. Okay. So my biographical interest in Indian Muslim is also shaped by the social and historical context. When I have started going to school, it was the time in India for the Babri Masjid, the Ram Temple issue. What is Babri Masjid and Ram Temple issue? There was a mosque in Uttar Pradesh, that is the largest state of India. That mosque is in Ayodhya or Faizabad in the central or eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. The mosque was believed to have been built in the 16th century, but the Hindu right started claiming that Lord Rama and his birthplace is the same place where the masjid was standing. And in violation of our constitution, our secularism, mobs were organized and they went there, they went on rampage and they demolished that mosque in the broad daylight. And that was the sign of the rise of Hindu communalism, or many would say Hindu fascism in this country. So this was the immediate background when we were growing up, and I started hearing about these issues. These issues, the communal issues, was very much in the place. So you could say many friends ask me that why you are interested in Muslim politics. One of the reasons is that I grew up in an atmosphere where communal issues was very much, and I wanted to understand it. And I share the idea that this land, this constitution gives equal right to everybody, irrespective of caste and community and religion. This is my faith. This is the basic teaching. This is the basic philosophy of the Indian constitution. The secular democracy is the pillar of Indian democracy. So this is just the background against which I have started doing my research work. And today I am going to talk about Islamophobia. What is Islamophobia? Today I wrote an article in my fortnightly column in one of the leading Urdu dailies, Inqilab, and the title of the article was Islamophobia Kya Hai? That is, what is Islamophobia? And you know this fact that the Islamophobia was very much in debate in Indian politics. It was in news recently. Why was it a news? Recently, a few months back, a young MP from Bangalore, belonging to the ruling party of India, the Hindu Nationalist Party. That young MP, who is otherwise appears as very modern and very secular, but his thought is very communal. So he wrote a tweet. He posted a Twitter some 3-4 years back, and in that tweet he made very derogatory statement against Arab Muslim women. And he said that Arab Muslim women have not felt and not experienced orgasm for so many years, so many centuries. He made such a statement. And that statement was made few years back, but history is never dead. That tweet was then recovered, and then the tweet was shared widely by the social media activists in Arab world, and that created some kind of controversy, and the Arab world became very furious, very angry to see the developments in India, that how could a member of parliament can make such a derogatory and shameful statement against women of a particular region or women of a particular community. That was very derogatory statement. Unfortunately, the ruling classes in India, they have never condemned, they have not condemned that statement, and they try to project that issue as if that there are some people sitting outside India being supported by the enemy of India, and they are doing hate campaign against Indian people. So this was the response, and that response to me was very shocking. Some journalists, well-known liberal journalists, they came out and they wrote pieces and they said, okay, what right you have to criticize India? Go and look into your own affairs, something like that. The minority rights are not protected in your country. India is such a great country. Here Muslims and other marginalized communities are enjoying all the rights. They are equal. They are treated equally. That kind of campaign was started doing in response of that Islamophobic campaign which was launched in Europe. See the irony. Our minority minister came out openly when the things were very bad and India was when India came under the attack. He said, भारत जो है वो मुसलमानों के लिए जन्नत है. India is paradise for Muslims. He gave that statement, and when I read that statement, I became very I started laughing at that statement. I said, What is it? He should have condemned that MP, and he should have said, okay, no more hate campaign against Muslims. We should never make any statement against any religious community. Our differences are there. In terms of policies, we can have different opinion. Whether reservations should be given to Muslims or not, whether special policies should be made for the Muslims or not. That issues can be debated. But how could, in a democracy, you will allow hate campaign? And how could you allow somebody to attack a community in general? So that was the background, and still the Indian government, the ruling the classes, they have not accepted that somehow things are not going well, and whatever the domestic politics is going on, that domestic politics is against the minority community, that is being watched by people across the globe also. Because now the boundary between the nation and the region are collapsing. The boundary is blurred, I think. So still they have not realized that such campaign can harm India. And you know that in Arab country, large number of Indians are working. They are earning their livelihood, they are earning money, they are sending money back home, and our relation with the Arab countries have always been sweet, historically speaking, because we don't have any cause to fight with them. They are not situated, they are not our neighboring countries, so there is no border dispute with them. And they look at India very positively, and they say that India is a secular democracy. But I don't know, somehow that Islamophobia, which is harming our, if I use the national interest. So I use that context to write this paper, that what is Islamophobia. And I have done some research, dear friends, and I wanted to tell you how I look at Islamophobia, what is the definition of Islamophobia, why Muslims are hated by non-Muslims, what is the argument given against the Muslims community, why prejudice is durable, if I use Gramscian word, why this prejudice is durable. So this is the context. Now let me first begin with the definition, that what is Islamophobia. And I will share the definitions with you. Islamophobia. There is a book written by John L. Espisto, if I pronounce his name correctly. There is a book by John L. Espisto. He has written a book that is called The Challenges of Pluralism in 21st Century. The book was published by Oxford University Press, 2011, New York. So in this book, in the introduction of this book, he has basically given the argument, what is Islamophobia? And in this book, he has said that Islamophobia is hatred. Islamophobia is hatred. Islamophobia is hostility. Islamophobia is hatred, hostility towards Islam and Muslims, perpetuated by a series of closed views that imply and attribute negative and derogatory stereotypes and beliefs to Muslims. This is his definitions. So if I try to simplify it, he is saying that Islamophobia is some kind of hatred, some kind of hostility against Islam, and it is based on some kind of derogatory stereotypes, some beliefs which are unfounded, These are the elements of Islamophobia. For our friends who know Hindustani, I would like to just translate it और समराइज इट. जॉन एस्पिसो ने इस्लामोफोबिया की जो उन्होंने डिफिनेशंस अपनी किताब में दी है, जो किताब उनकी है द चैलेंजेस ऑफ प्लुरलिज्म इन द 21st सेंचुरी, उसमें उन्होंने कहा है कि एक तरह का एक हैट्रेड है, एक तरह का नफरत है, एक तरफ के दुश्मनी है, एक तरफ की अदावत है जो कि मुसलमान और इस्लाम के खिलाफ है. और ये जो है ये कोई रियल होना जरूरी नहीं है. This is not necessarily real. It may be unreal. And the most of the cases it is unreal. And I would give you the example of snake and rope. Sometime what happens that when we see a snake at night or maybe in dark, we think it's a when you see rope, we think that it's a snake. So we have the image that it's a snake. But in reality, this is not a snake, this is rope. This is called something which is based on unreal thing. Similarly, Islamophobia means hatred, and that hatred, that prejudice is not based on ground reality. जैसे we think that Muslims are not good human beings. So social scientists will ask what data we have, what empirical evidence you have. How would you say that Muslims are not good people? How would you say that Muslims are terrorists? How would you say Muslims are thief? How would you say that Muslims are dirty? How would you say that Muslims are not nationalists? The argument, the logic will not be given. नहीं वो तो होते ही हैं, मुस्लिम तो ऐसे ही होते हैं. तो ये जो Muslims are like this. So that means that you have already formed an opinion. You have already made some belief, some prejudice, और उसका कोई basis नहीं है. You don't have any basis, but you believe like this. That the first thing to keep in mind that Islamophobia is a kind of hatred against Islam, it's a kind of hatred against Muslims, and there cannot be a real basis for the hatred. जैसे मान लीजिए, I will give you an example. Suppose I have kept money and you have stolen my money, or you have hit me. So there is some concrete reason that you have stolen my money, you have hit me, I have become injured. That is why I hate you. But what happens in the case of Islamophobia? No Muslim has done any harm to you, but you hate Muslims. So this is one definition. This is very important thing when we say Islamophobia. Phobia against Muslim, that is Islamophobia, and that is not based on the real things. So what has happened that in Europe, particularly in 1980s and in 90s 1980 में और 90 में इस्लामोफोबिया जो है वो बहुत बड़ी तादाद में यूरोप में बढ़ना शुरू हो गया, यूरोप के अंदर में. And the book has also traced how Islamophobia has increased in Europe in 1980s and 1990s, and there were some incidents which have made the West, a large section of West, turned against Muslim. The hijacking of planes, the attack on WTO, the September 11, the Iranian Revolution, these things were perceived by Europe as the rise of Muslim fundamentalism, the rise of Islam, and they considered it, the rise of Islam, as a threat to the interest of the secular and modern European world. So things started becoming bad, becoming worse in 1980s and 1990s. So UN Secretary, the former UN Secretary, General Secretary of the UN, Kofi Annan, also expressed concern about the rising incidents of Islamophobia, and he was in 2004, he was speaking in a UN conference, and he said, and I quote, "Since the September 11 attacks on the United Nations, Many Muslims, particularly in the West, have found themselves the object of suspicions, harassment, and discrimination. This is the statement coming from the UN Secretary, the General Secretary कोफी अन्नान. और हमारे हिंदुस्तानी दोस्तों के लिए वो ये कह रहे हैं कि 2004 में